Okay, so for the assembly of the chimney, this is what we are going to do. We're going to have two pieces at 1.5 by 1 7/8. So that's two of these, right? And then you're going to mark it at looks like 1 1/8. So right about here. And then you're going to cut it diagonally to the end of the 1 7/8, okay? Then you're going to have another piece that is 1 7/8 by 1 3/4, and then another piece at 1 3/4 by 1 1/8. Okay. And then what I basically am doing is I decided that I wanted to use the same that I have down here. So I've basically cut the paper to match that, and then I'm going to cover it up. But before I do that, I want to glue my edges together so that it works, so that you can put it together, put it on. Duh. What is wrong with my words today? But anyway, you can either tape it or glue it. That's up to you. But I know that originally I used the washi tape, but I really want this to be pretty secure. So I'm going to use the hot glue gun to do that. And it's pretty quick too. So let me go ahead and show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm going to take my last piece here, and I'm going to take, well, hold on, let me just double check to make sure here if I have these sitting on top or on the edges. Let me just double check. Okay, so I basically have these on the inside. So I'm going to take my glue gun, which I didn't unplug it. Great. That's what I like. So I'm going to do my edge here. And then I'm going to attach it. And then I'm going to do the same with this side. And you'll have to move pretty quickly. Sorry, I'm doing that out of camera. My bad. You're like, darn it, Ken, stop doing that. Okay, so if you want to make sure it's extra secure, now is the time that you want to add in some more glue, which it's not going to. My glue gun is not small enough. I messed up my little glue gun. I went and bought the wrong size stuff, so the wrong size glue stick. So I had to take out my big bad mama jamma. I was not excited about that. Put glue on the edges. I'm gonna have to work really quickly to get that together. Okay. Now it's going to seem a little bit flimsy, but it's not going to be that way once you get done papering it. So you have a couple things you can do. Again, you can use some tape around here, or you can take one of these smaller pieces and basically go along the center, although it's not going to lie flat. But I think this should be okay. Once you glue it to the top of the roof, it's really not going to move around. So I'm going to go ahead and do my edges really quick. I'm going to use my double-sided sticky tape here. Let's see, am I doing this side first? Yes. Let me go ahead and just stick it down here. Don't forget to burnish your edges, which goodness, I keep forgetting to burnish my edges. You know it's not going to work right. And you should not use your glue gun on top of your scoreboard because it will mess up your little score line. So I'll remember not to do that again. I'm going to get my smaller tape out here and do these edges just to make sure that there's tape on all the edges. My goodness. So then I'm just going to apply it, oh goodness, directly on here. Okay, and I forgot to mention earlier, you want to be mindful of the script writing to make sure that it is not upside down, which I did not check my other piece that I had already cut, but I will check that real quick here to make sure, yeah, the writing's not upside down. That's good. I never know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and do this edge with this on here too. In fact, I'm going to do all my edges with my Distress ink. And if you do want to paper the inside of the chimney, you might want to do that before you put it together. I apologize, I didn't think about that. For me, it wasn't necessary to do the inside of the chimney. So and get my tape going again. Gotta work quickly. It's almost time to go pick up my kiddos from school. So, and then I'm going to take a larger piece and put it in the center and cut that off. And I'm going to just pull back my edges. Push in any overhanging tape back onto this decorative side. And any other little hanging weird things. And going to ink my edges, or distress, however you want to call it. Either way, it's still ink. And I'm going to lay it down. So far we've got these two little edges here. I think it's looking so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this project so much already. Okay, so then I know that I need to cut this down a little. Wait, hold on. I think I already had a piece that was already cut. I basically cut a strip. I'm going to go ahead and get out my thing. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Because, like you see how it didn't go over the edge all the way, because I used the same exact measurement. Well, now I want this front to hang over all the way. So you may want to add 1/16 of an inch to the measurement I gave you to get that overhang. Let me just see if that worked. And it sure did. Yay! Well, let me just double check. Yes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ink my edges first. I know earlier I didn't do that, but you should do that on all of them. And then I'm going to go ahead and measure this one too. This edge. This is kind of like the cheater way to do this. But, I mean, basically you can still use the same measurements I gave you and just add a 1/16 of an inch to make sure that that edge is on there. Let me just double check I didn't make it too fat. And it is a little bit over. I will just do a tiny bit off. I know you're like, why aren't you being accurate? Because when it comes to putting these together, I just think that you have to apply for errors when you're cutting or whatever. You may go over a tad bit, not by your choice, but because each cutter, I hate to say it, never cuts perfectly. I'm just being realistic. I've been doing this for a while and I have yet to find a machine that actually cuts everything perfectly and perfectly straight, etc., etc. I'm telling you, it drives me crazy. I'm going to use my thicker tape for this one because there's no angle, so that makes it easy. Again, I'm going to push up my edges, and then I'm going to make sure my script is going the right way, and then I can apply it on here. Okay, oops, I forgot to ink this edge. My goodness. There we go. Just making sure it's all on there. Okay. Then I can finally apply the last piece. Burnish my edges real quick, and because you see I have that overhang, I mean not overhang, but underhang, shall I say, I didn't get over to the edge all the way. I will add another strip of tape to that bottom to make sure I get that in there. Okay, again, make sure my script is in the right spot. And I'm going to apply it on here. And so, oops, it went over a little bit. Gosh darn it. See what I'm saying? No matter how much you cut it, there is nothing perfect. So now I'll just take my scissors and go ahead and try to make it as straight as possible. Oops. I'll just have to re-glue that. Wonderful. Sorry, I was pressing down too hard. Can't do that. Like I said, once you actually have it attached to the house, it's not going to move around because it'll be sealed on the bottom. So And I probably should have waited for it to dry completely before I started messing with it. That's another thing. Okay, so sorry, I'm going to clean up some of my trash. And then we are going to decide where we're going to put this on the roof, because I want this on the roof before I apply my Thatchet roof. This is going to be the fun part. Okay. Oh, and I want to mention, if you don't like this particular color, you could always distress ink it first, but you would have to do it on both sides because otherwise it would be kind of complicating. Or you can use like a lighter, because I've seen where they kind of look like a golden yellow. So you could use a type of yellow paper too. But like I said, I really like the this thickness of the cardstock for the paper bag one. I mean, it's my absolute favorite. So we have a box, and what I'm going to do is I'm thinking, so I'm going to kind of turn it this way so you can see. So this is where my lid opens. So no, I don't want my roof, my chimney there, not roof. Okay, so I'm thinking either I could have it there. You could do it in the center of the house. I think I'm going to do it over here on the right-hand side. That's what I'm thinking. And this actually needs a little more glue in there. So hold on one second. I had a little bit of a section that didn't get glued, so I'm going to hold on to it. Okay, so then I want to line it up right here where you can actually take it down just a notch, you know, and then you're going to just glue it on here with your glue gun. So I'm going to do that real quick. You got to make sure you got it straight, because as you can see, I have mine a tad bit crooked. You could draw a line if that helps you out, you know. Okay, so just to make sure it is extra glued in there, like I said, I'm just going to, well, I need another glue stick. Goodness, I keep knocking this trash over. I apologize, guys. I keep knocking this trash over, and it's like getting papers all over my floor that I don't want there. Okay. Alrighty, another glue stick. Because I'm basically just going to drop it in there. I mean, I'm not really worried about the inside of the roof. I mean, if you're worried about it, you can always put a cover over this. So I'm thinking too that usually when I see chimneys, I may do that. I may put a piece of paper in there so that you can't see down inside the chimney, which I may just do that. Okay. Yeah, I'm a thinking so. Yes, people, I'm a thinking so. Okay, so you know when you see chimneys, they usually have like another little thick piece here. I'm not going to use chipboard to do that. What I'm thinking about doing is like using some black cardstock, and I'll probably do it about 1/4 of an inch, maybe a little bit bigger. Let me see, maybe 3/8 of an inch, and then let me just double check here. Yeah, 3/8 of an inch for the black, and then I'll do this at 1/4 inch. Okay. and basically wrap it around here. So let me get that measured out and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I took a piece of, I decided to use the same gray cardstock, so I apologize that I didn't use black, but you know, you can use black or white or whatever you want to use. But I did 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, so it's a perfect square, and it did go over just a tiny bit, but that's okay. I just kind of like took a little bit off at a time until I got it to where I wanted it to be. So you see there is a tiny bit of an overhang here, but that's not going to be as noticeable. Can, you know, rub it down the side. So then I just took my regular clear Aleene's tacky glue and attached it to the top. And then now this strip is a 1/2 inch by, I believe it's 7.5. Yes. And so then I'm just going to wrap it around. I'm actually going to start here. I'm going to leave that hanging. Okay, take off the rest of this tape. Fold over any hanging over. Sorry, fold over any hanging over. So I'm starting here. This is left hung over. Okay, I'm going to turn it and then apply. Turn it and apply. And then I'm going to put that little overhang in here and then seal it up. Okay. Then for this next piece, I'm going to use the same cardstock. Okay. And sorry, not this piece, but a longer one. And I'm basically going to do the same length, but I'm going to do the width a little bit differently because this is a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go in and do it at probably 1 3/8. So let me get out a longer strip. Let me see if this is going to go. Let me see. What did I say? Oh, 7.5. And this is a little bit longer than 7.5. So I will cut that off. Oops. I'm going to pull this, sorry, I'm going to move that out of the way. And I know that I want it to be 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to line it up on the 3/8 inch line. And you want to make sure that this is perfect. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and score it because I'm just not trusting myself. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and, oops, it's almost time for me to go. Sorry guys, I'll probably have to come back in a few minutes. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to distress it and then I'm going to tape that down too, but I'm going to center it in the gray area. And I'm just going to wrap it around the same way that I did it earlier. Let me see if I can kind of show you. So I'm going to turn this to the side a little bit. So I'm going to center it right in there, just like that. So it'll look like this. Okay, so I will be back shortly. Okay, so I went ahead and applied it, but I just wanted to make you all aware of something. So when I was wrapping it around here, I almost laid it not correctly. So just kind of be aware that you want it to line up directly with the other edge. And so anyway, I think it's coming out so cute. Look. I love it. Anyway, I think I need to put my camera up higher. But anyway, I'm going to go pick up my little munchkins, and I'll be back in a little while. Thanks.